Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome back to Monday Manna, clarity for the calling, direction for the doing. I am Darla Bonk, CEO and founder of Darla Bonk Consulting, and I'm so thrilled that you joined me today. We are going to be talking about doing some planning today as our topic. And in the month of August, a lot of large corporations, believe it or not, already start to do some of their annual planning. They are starting to do some pre-budget planning for next year, which could seem early, right? But I assure you it isn't. And many companies actually have their fiscal or their calendar year mapped out for the following year by the end of Q3, and then tweak those numbers and goals based off the Q4 outcomes. So, unfortunately, what I am finding is that a lot of companies that aren't public, small businesses, don't really go through this process with intention. And so, I want to talk about that today. And some of you have had companies with decades of experience, but you've never really developed a true comprehensive annual planning process. And for some of you that may be solo entrepreneurs or maybe even less than 5 years into your business, I want to ask you to be really honest with yourself. How many of you don't even set your budget or map out your year until the new year actually starts? Right? So I want to really share something that can be positive and motivating for you if this type of a process seems overwhelming. There are a lot of companies that will map out their whole entire year to be achieved in 9 months, accounting for 3 months of fluff, if you will. Let's think about that. We're in August. There's one more month in Q3, right? August is what for most employees? It's back to school month, right? It's maybe a last minute vacation. Then we get into September. We get into the crunch of September, trying to end Q3 on a high. And then let's call a spade a spade. We get into the holidays with October, November, and December. And a lot of people aren't making major buys during that time from a business perspective. They're spending money on gifts for their friends and family, right? And it is proven that there are a lot of sales that really we bank on happening at the end of the year that don't. And the ramp up time from the ramp down time from December 15th to the ramp up time of January 15th also loses time as well. But what if you could map out your entire year to have your goals met in 9 months instead of needing all 12 months to do so? Where could you take your business? Maybe you could take some of that time off. Maybe you could factor in some of that vacation time that you're wanting to have with your family, which is why you built and started this business in the first place, right? Here's something else I want you to consider. Companies with written strategic plans grow 30% faster than those without, and that is according to the Small Business Administration. Thus, our theme for today: diligent planning leads to sustainable results and avoids rash decisions. Diligent planning leads to sustainable results and avoids rash decisions. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty." Now, I am not asking you to get with your team and make a plan that is so rigid and has to be so meticulously followed or you'll fail. But you need a plan, guys. You need a plan that is going to allow you and your team to have a roadmap to guide you, to let you know where you're going throughout the course of the year, that can allow for flexibility as the market and your client needs change. So, whether you're running a startup, whether you're managing a family business, or leading an established organization, proper annual planning can transform how you operate and dramatically improve your results. I know, nothing new. I'm telling you, nothing new. But how many of you actually go through this process formally and with intentionality? Many leaders avoid it. They avoid a formal planning process because it seems overwhelming, it seems time consuming, or unnecessarily complex. I actually had a client tell me last week, "Darla, it's not difficult. It's more money in than goes out." That's not a plan, bud, but okay. There is a cost that is incurred to lack of planning, people. We talked last week about how you cannot lead if you don't know where you're going, right? Without structured planning, businesses are going to tend to struggle with a lack of clear direction, reactive decision making, resource misallocation, missed opportunities, and team misalignment. Annual planning is not about creating these documents that are just going to collect dust and stay lost in all of your emails and not get talked about after you guys have your planning day. It is about having an effective approach. And effective approaches to annual plans are going to focus on actionable strategies over academic exercises, meaning the plan that you can actually implement. It's going to have flexible frameworks that can allow you to adapt to change the structure without the rigidity. It's going to have clear metrics and accountability systems, knowing exactly what your success needs to look like and can be tracked and measured. And it's going to have regular reviews and adjustment cycles, living documents that are going to evolve in your business throughout the year. And this is not about perfection, guys, but it's about having a systematic approach to how you're going to lead, how you're going to serve, and how you're going to win in 2026. So I want you guys to ask yourself these questions throughout your planning process. Number one, does it align with my organization? Does it align with my why? Number two, does it provide structure for decision making? Three, does it create accountability systems? And four, does it build on our competitive advantage? So, whether you're a 5-person team or whether you are an enterprise of 5,000, these principles apply across industry and across your business model. The key is starting with some fundamentals and building complexity as your planning maturity grows. So, the best plan is one that you can actually commit to and implement, right? So here are your 3 takeaways. Number one, schedule time for reflection and execution. Number two, include God in your goals through prayer. And number three, create realistic strategic timelines. Let's break that down real quickly. Number one, schedule time for reflection and execution. Proverbs 16:9 says, in his heart, a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. Luke 5:15 and 16 says, yet the news about him spread all the more, so that the crowds of people came to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and he prayed. Jesus took the time to lay low and pray and withdraw from the people who needed him the most. We all need to do the same. You need to take time to stop and to reflect. And we need to create space to ponder and plan before acting. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. If you don't spend time with the Lord before you do this planning process with your team, you are missing a key opportunity for the Lord to infuse his purpose and his direction into your business. Okay, takeaway number two, include God in your goals through prayer. If you believe you were created by God, that he knit you in your mother's womb, and that he created and designed you as his workmanship, his masterpiece, then it would only make sense, my friend, that prayerful planning would align your heart to God and his heart as he lays out the plans for you and his purpose for you and the desire and plan for your business. Seeking divine guidance does not dismiss your mind's ability, it heightens it, it expands it. Proverbs 16:3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. And my favorite verse, my life verse, Proverbs 3:5 and 6, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And then takeaway number 3, my friends, create realistic and strategic timelines. Habakkuk 2:2-3 says, write down the revelation and make it plain on the tablets so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and it will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and it will not delay. Guys, this was in reference to the fall of Babylon that took place 66 years after Habakkuk's prophecy. Though it may linger, it will surely come. And writing it down and standing on the word God gives you for your business that is in alignment with Him and His word is what you can trust when you don't see it. It's the word you can use to build your faith when that client walks, because our hope is in Jesus, not man. And if you are building and running your business according to the word of God and God's direction in your life, you can know and trust and believe by faith it will come to pass. And I can tell you guys, in our manufacturing business, the dream and goals that God gave Jeff for that business back when he was living in Seattle before we even got together are ones that are just now coming to fruition a decade after we started this business. The expansion of this operation is really just now getting underway, where we're going from 12,500 square feet of warehouse space to what will be over 25,000 square feet of warehouse space. Jeff saw that before we ever even bought this building and saw this completed, but it has taken 10 years, but he wrote it down and he put it in the business plan and he put his head down and he trusted God and we got to work. Planning is not just a business principle, it is a biblical one. And when we set aside defined moments to reflect and invite God into the process and map out realistic timelines, we become faithful in stewarding our calling and we honor God with intention and with diligence and we build our faith. I want to challenge you guys to really take this and sit with this. And you need some help with your company to work on doing the plan for 2026, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. But I hope this has been encouraging to you guys. Make it a great week. I'll see you next Monday.